things you do. I hate to break it to you, not everyone wants the best for you. Who try to take the dream inside you, they see they're flat out jealous and envy all the things you will be. Yeah, just hold your head up, man, and keep on moving on. If I would've never struggled, then I wouldn't have this song. But don't get me wrong, no need to stack up your strife. You gotta watch the ones who you let speak straight into your life. Cause the artists, they will sing you all their fancy little songs with the funny little beats and all the catchy sing-alongs. But the messages they give are not the kind you should be fed. It's a recipe of lies they try to get stuck in your head. Man, I see some rappers sold their souls, I won't be selling mine. No need to find a source when you're eating from the vine. You thought that I was done, but now I'm leaving you behind. Wouldn't say I deserve it, but I'm here to get what's mine. Live free, dream big, and see that the world is yours. The world is yours. Give all you have to give. Cause the world is yours. The world is yours. Live good, live right, no fear tonight. The world is yours. The world is yours. And just stay true, fight on, stay you. The world is yours. The world is yours. Look up, live free, dream big, and see that the world is yours. The world is yours. Give all you have to give. Cause the world is yours. The world is yours.
Happy Tuesday to each one of you. Oh my goodness, I am so happy that you're here today. I want to start out, before I forget, with an announcement. Tomorrow's live broadcast will begin 1 hour earlier. So at noon tomorrow, Mr. Crader Live will begin then. I have a meeting I have to attend at 1 o'clock. A Zoom meeting that I have to be at, so I can't miss that one. So our broadcast will start at noon tomorrow. I will remind you of that again at the end of the broadcast. I hope all of you are having a great day today. I'm having a great day. We had a Zoom this morning with Miss Johnston's class, and it was a lot of fun getting to see all the kids that participated. We did a show and tell, and I showed them around my front room, my living room. Many of you know I like to take pictures, so I showed them some of the pictures that I have hanging up on my wall as my show and tell. Well, let's get to it. Let's look at our points, our house point totals. We have Yorisi is still in the lead with 1,474 points. Dynan is narrowed that lead because yesterday y'all were on fire with our math riddles, and you have 1,122 points. Funda has 700 points and is in third, and Amistad is in fourth with 550 points. All right, you'll have some chances to earn some more points at the end of today's broadcast. So stay tuned for a chance to earn some more points by doing your Mr. Crader Coronavirus Live homework. Today, we are going to learn about the Great Pyramid of Giza, and William sent this in last week. Last week's homework was to send in any landmarks or special places that you would like to see for us to talk about on Tuesdays, because on Tuesdays we're going to specialize on social studies and learning about different places in the world or different things in history. And he sent in that he would like to learn about the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's the oldest and the largest of the 3 pyramids in the Giza Pyramid Complex. And as many of you know, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been sharing videos from YouTube, and about halfway through the broadcast, I get a copyright violation and the screen goes, dark. So today I'm not going to show any YouTube videos because I don't want to have another copyright violation. I'm going to go through some pictures that I put together, and I'm just going to put together this kind of something I've done on my own, and then we'll have a little video, but it'll be a Google Earth flyover to the Great Pyramids in Egypt. So stay tuned for that in just a second. But let's learn about the Great Pyramids of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the 7 wonders of the world because it's the largest pyramid in Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza, you're looking at that right now, it's located 5 miles west of the Nile River, and it's close to the city of Cairo. This pyramid's part of other pyramids called the Giza Necropolis. So in the picture, you can see the people who are standing at the base of the pyramid, and you can kind of see how the pyramid was put together by these huge blocks of limestone. And you can just see how big this pyramid is just by the perspective that the people who are, sitting on these blocks and how tall it is. The Giza Necropolis, where this pyramid is located, it has 2 other pyramids besides the Great Pyramid, including the Pyramid of Menkaure and the Pyramid of Khafre. The Giza Necropolis also has the famous Great Sphinx and many different cemeteries along the way. So you can see the Great Sphinx is right here. We may save the Great Sphinx for another day to learn about that, but it's located in this whole complex where the Great Pyramids are at. The Pharaoh Khufu. This is who the Great Pyramid of Giza was built for. He was a great pharaoh, back in this day. Pharaoh Khufu was a very rich and famous pharaoh, and his pyramid held many different treasures of gold, jewels, and more. The tomb held these treasures because the Egyptians believed that when people died, they took with them whatever was in their tomb. So many of these tombs, these pyramids, were filled with all kinds of treasures. Here's another picture, a close-up picture of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's called the Great because it's huge. It was once over 481 feet tall. And even though the pyramid is tall, it's not as tall as it used to be because it eroded so much. And you can kind of see some of that, with the stones here. The top of the pyramid is actually gone. Now the pyramid is only 455 feet tall. The base of the pyramid's over 700 feet wide, and it sits on over 10 acres of land. So what's inside the pyramid? When they built it, this is kind of what the design looks like. The Great Pyramid, it has over 3 rooms. These rooms include a grand gallery, which you can see in the middle of the picture. The King's Chamber, which you can see kind of the top center of the picture, and the Queen's Chamber, which is below the Grand Gallery. The King's Chamber is the most important room, and it's located in the highest part of the pyramid. Not only is this room important and bigger than all the others, it also has a granite sarcophagus. A sarcophagus is a coffin, which is where they placed King Khufu. The Grand Gallery, this section that's leading up to the King's Chamber, has a huge hallway which is over 150 feet long, over 5 feet wide, and almost 30 feet high. There are also other areas such as tunnels that lead all through the pyramid to the outside. And you can see the entrance to the pyramids on the kind of the bottom right of the pyramid, and you can see these different chambers and different places where people could walk around in here and place different things. How were pyramids built? It's sort of a mystery as to how they were built. No one's really sure how the Egyptians were able to build such massive structures. Some believe the Egyptians were able to move the stone blocks to the top of the pyramids, but we know that they would have had to have some type of machines or tools to do this. This picture kind of shows what it may have taken to move some of these large stones. Some historians think they might have used things like sleds or water to boost the blocks to the top of the pyramid and to help the blocks slide easier. We may never really know how the pyramids really got to where they are, but they definitely were moved there. They weren't just there from the beginning of time. I see a comment here. I'll put it up on the screen. Jania said, wow, I want to steal some gold there. Well, you know what? A lot of people did that through the years. They would break into these pyramids and they would loot them and steal everything inside of them. That's why most of the pyramids don't have anything in them anymore, because through the years thieves would actually go in there and do that thing. Mr. Murray said it was magic. Yeah, I don't know if it was magic or not, but they got it. They got those stones moved over there. So the Great Pyramid of Giza used to look white because it was covered in limestone that was white and polished. This made the pyramid look smooth and shiny. So all these pyramids, when they were originally put together, they were white because limestone is white in nature, and so they polished it. And I can just imagine, back then, people seeing these huge, glowing white pyramids. It must have just been a sight to see, because it's in the desert where this is located, and I'm sure it was just amazing, frightening. Lots of different, I'm sure, emotions came to mind when people looked at this pyramid. Miss Johnson said, the aliens did it, LOL. Yeah, that's funny, Miss Johnston. So originally, the pyramids were white, like this. They made the pyramid look smooth and shiny. Later, though, the stones were removed so that more buildings could be built, and the pyramid also looked like it was jagged because the layers were stacked and sloped, and you saw that in the pictures before. There was a stairway that looked like it was so tall that it went into the clouds. So I can imagine to these ancient people that was just something amazing to see. Mr. Murray says, I bet they're booby-trapped and no one steals them anymore. Yeah, they have guards at these pyramids now, and they've went in, and archaeologists have went in and preserved everything that they can. That's why you've heard of King Tut, and you've seen pictures of him in his coffin and the sarcophagus of him. Archaeologists have went in there and cleaned out most of the stuff that was left. But yeah, thieves went in there and looted lots of the gold and stuff from the past. Here's some more facts about the pyramids, and you can kind of see how the pyramids are crumbling here and eroding away. It took over 20 years to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. Over 20,000 people worked together to build the pyramid, and the pyramid started around 2580 BC. So that would be like over 4,500 years ago is when these pyramids were started being built. The blocks of the pyramid are thought to weigh around 2,000 pounds. That's a ton. There are more than 2 million stones in the pyramid. And the pyramid of Khafre was built by Khufu's son. That was the pharaoh who's in the Great Pyramid. And the pyramid of Menkaure was built for Khufu's grandson. So these pyramids housed 3 generations of Khufus. Some believe that the pyramid of Khufu was designed by Humuni, which was the pharaoh's second in charge. Historians believe that the pyramids were built by workers that were paid and not by slaves that were forced to work, but we don't know that for sure. And no one is really sure why there is a queen's chamber. Some people think, of course, that's when the king died, they were going to put the queen in there with him, but they're not 100% certain, because most of the time the queen and the king didn't die at the same time. And the last fact there is some of the workers on the pyramid were paid in food like radishes and garlic and onions, because these foods were hard to get. So there's some general basic information about the pyramids. I'd love to go over there and visit that someday. The Great Pyramids, they're in North Africa. Egypt is an interesting country because there's a peninsula that connects Africa to Asia, and Egypt is right there at it. And these pyramids are in the northern part of Egypt and are in North Africa. So they're right there on the northern border of Africa. And let's do a little flyby. I'm going to share my screen. And last week we were in France, in Paris, France, looking at the Eiffel Tower. And that of course is in Europe. Today we're going to fly from Paris, France to the Great Pyramids of Giza. So get ready to move from all the greenery to all the desert. Of course, there is a lot of greenery right there on the Nile River where the Great Pyramids are close to. But this is the Great Pyramid of Giza. You know, as we're flying over it, the Sphinx you can see up here is nearby, and you can see the other pyramids that are right here beside it. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can see these are the three pyramids that are beside each other. The Sphinx is right over here. And you know this is Cairo, and you can see this is a huge desert here, there in northern Africa, the Sahara Desert, and this greenery is right on the river, the Nile River. That's where you see the green, all this green. This is the Nile River around it, but surrounded by the Nile is the desert. And let's fly back down here to the Great Pyramid. Get a closer look. Hopefully no one's getting any motion sickness. This would be the end right over here. And let's go over here to, let's see where the Sphinx is. It's right over here. Let's go over here to the Sphinx. Check it out. There's the Sphinx. And let's fly. This is, and like I said in the little piece, this is called the Giza Necropolis. This is just like the city of pyramids, basically, is what this is where these are located. Let's look at, see, the Valley Temple of Menkaure. This is located, it was a place of worship in Egypt, and so this is the like a church that they had, you know, back thousands of years ago. But this is a place you can visit. I mean, tens of thousands of people, probably hundreds of thousands of people visit here each year, and it's some place that you definitely want to put on your bucket list to visit. So let's zoom out and see. We can zoom out on the planet Earth, and you can see, you know, right here you've got Saudi Arabia, which is in the Middle East, in Asia, and you've got Egypt, Israel, and you've got this little peninsula here that connects to everything. There's Cairo, you know, where all of the pyramids are at. So let me switch screens. If you would like to earn 10 house points for your house, you can either comment in the section. You can comment right now on some place that you would like for us to visit next week, a landmark, or even something in history you'd like to learn about, anything social studies related. You can, if you can't comment right now about it, think about it and send me an email at carvercardinals@gmail.com, and next week I will pick one of these and we will learn about a new landmark. I hope, yeah, get some sunscreen. Yeah, exactly, Sloan. You definitely want to get some sunscreen. I hope you enjoyed my effort to teach us a little bit about the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yeah, that's definitely a very, very hot spot. Sloan says get some sunscreen if you visit, and I highly recommend you get some sunscreen if that's the case. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll give you some time in the comments. I'm going to play The World Is Your song, and while that's playing, in the comments you can type where you would like us to visit next week. And remember, tomorrow, those of you tuning in late, tomorrow the broadcast will start 1 hour earlier. It will start at noon. So at noon tomorrow, instead of 1 o'clock, I have a meeting I have to attend at 1 o'clock. So we will be starting our broadcast 1 hour early tomorrow at noon. I hope to see you tomorrow at high noon. And until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Look up, live free, dream big, and see the world is yours, the world is yours. Give all you have to give. The world is yours, the world is yours. tried to break free, you tried to keep me bound. I tried to live right, you tried to keep me down. But now I'm going up, I'm moving higher than anywhere that I've been before. I'm flying, man. It's kinda crazy, like my feet are lifting off the ground. I'm touching heaven with my hands now to get the sound. But though I'm flying, my head is still level, and I won't be bound down to hear the whispers of the devil. Now the future is here, and it looks real bright, and it can be yours too if you set your path right. I know life can be hard, but you were put here to win. Just refuse to quit when you're down and get back up again. Man, I used to write my music from my tiny bedroom, and though I dreamt of being free, I felt trapped like in a tomb. And even though the times are dark and I could barely even see through all the tears, I sit and pen, weave out my destiny. But now the days are gone where I would listen to the critics who counted me out before they ran the proper analytics. I'm here to stay, just like a necklace waiting to be pearled, and I'm throwing up the chorus as I'm singing with the world. Wake up, live free, dream big, and see that the world is yours. The world is yours. With all you have to give. 'Cause the world is yours. The world is yours. You should be careful who you listen to, who watch all of the things you do. I hate to break it to you, not everyone wants the best for you. Who try to take the dream inside you, they see. They're flat out jealous and envy all the things you will be. Yeah, just hold your head up, man, and keep on moving on. If I would've never struggled, then I wouldn't have this song. But don't get me wrong, no need to stack up your strife. You gotta watch the ones who you let speak straight into your life. 'Cause the artists, they will sing you all their fancy little songs with the funny little beats and all the catchy sing-alongs. But the messages they give are not the kind you should be fed. It's a recipe of lies they try to get stuck in your head. Man, I see some rappers sold the souls, I won't be selling mine. No need to find a source when you're eating from the vine. You thought that I was done, but now I'm leaving you behind. Wouldn't say I